Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by MedVet. Every week, y'all, we introduce you to a new furry friend looking for their forever home in our MedVet Pet of the Week. Joining us today is our friend Christian Long from Texas Humane Heroes, alongside a very long name for a very short dog, Gamorrean. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Gamorrean. Tell me a little bit about that name.
Well, if you're a Star Wars fan, like a lot of us are, you might recognize her name as the palace guards that Jabba the Hutt had in Return of the Jedi. And they were known for their pronounced underbites, which she also has.
Oh, she does have that sweet little underbite.
You don't see it very often.
She's a friendly girl.
She's smiling too much. You don't see the underbite all that often. She's always in a happy mood.
Well, and we didn't get to have you on actual Halloween, but I'm loving that she's dressed up as a little hot dog. Maybe this will help folks at home to remember her and call in and say, I want to adopt the hot dog.
The little hot dog girl, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about her.
She's about 5 years old and is absolutely just the sweetest, friendliest, most outgoing little girl. She has actually had several meet and greets with families. That's all gone really well. None of them, obviously have ended in her coming home yet, but one thing we've noticed is she has an absolute love of little kids.
Oh.
Really gentle.
What a wonderful trait to have, because so often we say, like, needs to be older kids or maybe adults only.
Yeah, and she is 100% on board with playing with them, snuggling with them. I think she just likes anything that's a little closer to her size. But
sure.
Yeah,
a family dog.
Very family oriented, very just sweet, wants to hang out with you, likes to sightsee on car rides, I learned this morning. But yeah, just a sweet, loving little girl.
And how long has she been with y'all?
She's been with us for, I want to say, about 6 or 7 weeks.
6 or 7 weeks.
So a little while.
So not a long, so sweet, she's giving you kisses. Not necessarily a long stay yet, but we certainly don't want those meet and greets to keep turning into nothing.
Yeah.
So if we're looking for the perfect home for her, small kids involved, what would be maybe a good fit?
Really, just like you said, almost anyone. She does like attention, so it would probably be best.
You and me both, sister.
Probably be best with a family where she has people to sort of split up their time with her.
Got it.
And like she likes.
She's looking for playmates.
She's looking for playmates. She's looking for snuggle mates, but she's also, she's very fair-minded, and she will divvy up her time evenly.
Oh.
But yeah, and if you've got a dog, she has known. She can be a little selective sometimes. A lot of that, I think, is just because of her size. She can get intimidated. But if you have a dog that's friendly, bring them out. We will do a supervised meet and greet and some playtime to see if they get along. But yeah, other than that, we know she loves everyone.
Oh, yeah. She's made a lot of friends already here in the studio. And she just is doing such a good job of just hanging out.
That's all she wants.
Which is amazing for a pet to bring home. And potty trained, I'm guessing, that all that good stuff that is already accomplished.
Yep, potty trained, crate trained, knows the basic commands, likes treats.
So she's a smart girl too.
She's smart. She likes treats, but she's not, super crazy for them. She won't derail your dinner time to get more.
Begging. Okay, I want to talk about those dogs who are long stays, because you guys have gotten really creative and made movie posters of all things.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, our chili cook-off on Saturday is one of our biggest adoption days of the year, and we do see a big mix of adoptions.
Lululand, look at this. Is that dog's name Lulu?
Oh yeah, that's Lulu. She's been with us about 3 years. A lot of these dogs have been with us 3-4 years or more, and they are just great, loving dogs. Some of them are only dogs, is maybe the only thing, but they get along with everyone. They're friendly. They like kids. They like attention.
There's something about Minnie. So you said you started with maybe one poster, kind of spitballed for a minute, and then it just developed into this whole, hey,
whole
we've
little
got to
theme. Yeah, we wanted to do more,
posters.
but there's a time crunch. But there's plenty of time to do more in the future.
But somebody who's been in a shelter for 3 years, that is a very long time. It's time to be in a more settled environment.
And they do get lots of foster breaks. We have a big foster network, so they get plenty of time. You know, they'll spend a few weeks in someone's home. So it's not quite as bleak as it sounds. And even when they are at the shelter, you know, we're playing with them. They get 3 activities every day. They get plenty of walks and they get plenty of attention, but nothing can substitute a home.
Absolutely. That's a really good way to say it. And you've already brought up the big bum, which is that the chili cook-off is happening this Saturday.
Yeah.
And I do want to talk about your goals because that's something that we haven't talked about yet. Usually it's $40,000 that you guys are attempting to raise. This year you've upped it.
We've upped it to $50,000 for a goal. We are a little under halfway at this point, which is unprecedented. We've sold more tickets in advance than we've sold ever before. We have more chefs than we've ever had. We're up to 25 now. 25!
Okay, I'm gonna come on an empty stomach.
We have, 20 vendors. We've got a silent auction that's online right now. We have we have a bunch of the new line of Consuela bags up for auction. We have a pizza oven from Gas Logs Express. We have a vacation rental.
Cool.
We have really upped, you know, I think I said this the last time I was here, but you know, we're definitely seeing a lot more interest. We're having it at the new building up front, so we're trying to match that enthusiasm with more activities, more things to do.
And it might be the only time we're at that building because, of course, at some point pups have to go into it, right?
Yeah.
So this is a really big, very fun year. And of course, we've said this before, but I will be judging. So if you are a chef, one of the 25, this little precious thing, then bring your A game because I'm excited to see it. We really appreciate your time today, Christian. And thank you for bringing little Gammo in, the hot dog, y'all, if you're going to call in and ask about her.
And one last thing on Saturday, plenty of tickets available, but you can also just get them at the gate. So.
Walk up?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good to me. For more information on how to adopt Gamorrean, visit humaneheroes.org, and that's also where you can learn more about the chili cook-off that's coming up this weekend. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by MedVet.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by MedVet Austin. Now here to tell us about what MedVet Austin has to offer is clinical manager Travis Fries. Travis, thanks for joining us. So let's start with this. What makes MedVet different from a general veterinary clinic?
Well, MedVet is an emergency specialty hospital that's open 24/7 that can provide a higher level of care that general veterinarians can't provide.
Okay, now can you tell us about the MedVet Austin location?
MedVet Austin location is located in central Austin, and we are located on 12400 North Interstate 35, Building B. The building is designed to provide advanced emergency care while working closely with the family veterinarians, providing specialties like neurology, neurosurgery, general surgery, radiology, and critical care.
Yeah, now emergency vet clinics I think are so vital, obviously, for our furry friends that we have at home, but especially knowing where they are I think makes a difference, right? Because it's emergencies, this could happen whenever. So can you tell me a little bit more from your perspective why it's so important to know where the nearest location would be?
Well, in a pet emergency situation, time is of the essence.
Yeah.
And knowing where your nearest emergency hospital is not only saves valuable time, but sometimes it can even save your pet's life.
How important is it to get them in there?
Getting them in there as fast as humanly possible allows the doctors and the care team to take immediate action to make sure that we can stabilize your pet, giving the pet families the best possible chance of getting their pet back.
Yeah, and I know you guys are excited about the services you offer, so tell people what's going to be available at MedVet Austin.
In addition to emergency and urgent care that's open 24/7, we are going to provide surgery, radiology, neurology with neurosurgery, and critical care.
Yeah, now as clinical manager, anything else you just want to say in closing here to share with viewers and potential new clients for MedVet Austin?
I can't stress enough on how knowing where your nearest, not only MedVet is, but where your nearest emergency hospital is. And just know that we're always here for you 24/7 if you ever need any care.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part right there. Always here for you 24/7. Well, Travis, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Learn more at medvet.com/Austin. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by MedVet Austin.
Welcome back, everybody. We love to see Plant Pro from Barton Springs Nursery, Xander Caruso, get fired up about greenery, and he's here to talk to us today about what he calls a miracle plant for Austin. Yupon or Yaupon, whichever way you pronounce it. Holly, lots of it here in the studio, and we're here to talk about it. Sandra, good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to have you as always.
Yes.
So I'm not going to say the scientific name yet because it's going to throw people off.
Yes.
But Yaupon holly, let's talk about some of its traits, because when I was looking at where it can be grown, I was like, well, that's the whole range.
Yeah. So this is a plant native to Texas, spans east all the way up until the hill country. So you can consider it, if you're out east, almost as like a swamp plant where it'll multi-trunk if it's in a ton of water. And here, very dry climate, not a lot of rainfall, very humid. It will work out almost in any situation you put it. It's very few known diseases for it as well. So I like to sell this plant to folks as a replacement for boxwoods. A lot of people don't like it because it's a little scrappier, it's a little bit twiggier. However, it is what I would call a miracle plant because it's almost indestructible. I very rarely see these things die, and they are native throughout our green belts. You'll see them in the woods. Today, I have all male cultivars, so they do not have the berries, but in the wild, the female cultivars and the native species will have red berries.
I was going to say, I saw beautiful red berries.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
amazing for wildlife.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a food source for wildlife. It is not a food source for humans, but
Yes, there's
we
a but.
can work with it.
Yes, we can. So several companies in the past few years I've seen pop up with the leaves. If you take the foliage of the plant and dry it out, you can turn it to a tea. It's the only plant native to North America with caffeine in its foliage.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So if you're going supernatural,
Yes, this is a great
not
option.
supernatural, supernatural,
Natural, yes.
then this might be a good choice for you. Let's talk about some of the options that you brought for us today, because I do see some physical, especially when you consider things like these two.
Yes. So we have a lot of guests at our nursery who want something very cylindrical. Fastigiate is the word. It just means the branches go vertical.
Fastigiate. Oh, I
yes.
love when I learn new words from you.
And so over here we have the Skyline holly. This is a completely columnar holly, get about 12 to 15 feet, and is just a column. It's wonderful.
Well, it makes me think of those, we've talked about this before, Italian cypress.
Yeah.
Which are really hard to keep happy and alive.
They don't live here.
They don't live here. You can try really hard,
Yep.
but these kind of have a similar look.
Yes, they do. So this is a really great replacement for that, or people want sky pencil holly. Skyline and Skyward, which is to my left, are your sort of fastigiate columnar varieties that'll get about 10 to 15 feet tall or 12 to 15 feet tall, depending on your soil. And the Skyward will come out a little bit wider, and the Skyline will stay more columnar and compact.
Okay, Skyward, Skyline.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
A little confusing, but of course we can come and talk to the plant
Yes,
pros
you can.
at Barton Springs Nursery.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
talk to me about what I'm looking at
And
here.
so on the table, we have a standard dwarf, which is about 3 to 5 feet tall. They call this one Nana. Most commonly found is called Nana. And then this one right here is called Micron, which is 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. And what's amazing about these is when they're fully grown, they form a perfect ball. You do not have to shape them at all. You can already see that this one, the Micron, is already doing it, and this one as well. It's on its way.
This is actually amazing to me, because so many times it's boxwood that I'm thinking of that is really difficult to keep in the shape that you want it to. You have to be like, you have to work like topiary style and all of that. So this turns into a perfect ball.
They just naturally form a perfect ball. We
And
have
it's
them at the nursery.
native.
Yeah, and
Oh
it's a
my
native.
goodness. Yeah. So we have some Yaupon holly types sitting there on the screen. We don't have a Pride of Houston with us today, but could you describe it for me?
Far too big to bring in. I thought I had
Okay.
a smaller one and I did not. But it is a multi-trunking. It sort of comes up and forms like a nice almost umbrella. Red berries, evergreen. All of these are evergreen.
Okay.
But Pride of Houston is a classic one you see as a landscape ornamental tree around town. Very beautiful, very tough, can be grown sun, shade. All of these can be grown in the sun or shade. Mind you, if you grow these in the shade, they might be a little bit looser looking, might be a little bit leggy. So the more sunlight you give this plant, the more tight its form will be, the bushier it'll be.
Okay. And Is now an okay time to plant them?
Now is the perfect time to plant all of your shrubs and trees.
Oh, okay.
So long as they're not tropical, if they're native to Central Texas, you're going to be just fine, or even North Texas, you're going to be just fine. And then anything up in there, Japanese maples, magnolias, anything like that. All your trees and shrubs, your fruit trees as well, so long as they're not tropical, you can put in the ground right now.
Okay, and is the reason because the soil has cooled down?
Soil has cooled down. They'll continue to grow roots throughout the winter. The temperatures aren't as hot, so it'll be easier for them to get established. And most of them go dormant, but you will be planting evergreens like these as well. They'll set
so
nice.
So this truly is evergreen?
Is evergreen.
I was going to say I hate to be like elementary about it, but like it will look like this year round.
It'll look like this all year round.
Okay, well, you've just changed my mind on what my front porch should look like. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're in our last minute here, so I want to make sure that I mention y'all's food drive, which is actually going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone could come by, bring non-perishable food. We're also taking, just various supplies, diapers, things like that. Come drop them off to us. It ends on the 9th, so make sure you get in early. But it's been quite a success. We've had a lot of guests just bring us everything they've got, so we've been packing it all away, and we'll be shipping it off soon.
And where are we shipping it off to?
It's the Oak Hill. Sorry, I can't remember the name.
It's okay. Food pantry or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's the Oak Hill Food Pantry.
Okay.
I'll have to double check on that.
Yeah, but all going to a good cause.
All going to a good cause.
Okay, all right. It's lovely to learn so many things and to learn a couple new words
Yeah,
today
absolutely.
from you. Oh, I appreciate it. Xander, thank you so much for
thank
your
you for having
time.
me.
Visit the Plant Pros in person on Bee Caves Road or check them out online, burtonspringsnursery.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Advanced Pain Care. Y'all, joining us today is physical therapist Scott Nicholas from Advanced Pain Care, where physical therapy is more than just recovery. It is a personalized path to lasting relief. He's here to tell us more about what Advanced Pain Care can offer. So let's talk about what sets Advanced Pain Care's physical therapy department apart from other clinics, especially, Scott, when it comes to helping patients manage pain and recover.
Yeah, so at Advanced Pain Care, we focus on one-on-one personalized treatment that targets each patient's specific pain and functional limitations. We typically prioritize relieving pain first and then restoring mobility and strength. And we do that through tailored programs that are designed for optimal recovery and improved quality of life for our patients.
So Scott, how does working alongside pain management physicians, surgeons, and other specialists at Advanced Pain Care benefit the patients who come through for physical therapy?
Yeah, because many of our physicians are in-house, we collaborate closely to ensure every treatment plan is coordinated. And this integrated approach allows us to address pain more effectively, tailor therapy to any medical procedures, and also optimize outcomes.
Let's talk about the role that physical therapy can play before or after a procedure, something like a surgery or an injection.
Yeah, so physical therapy helps prepare patients for procedures, typically by improving strength and mobility, which can help speed recovery after the procedure. Usually after a procedure, we'll focus on optimizing outcomes for our patients. We'll focus on addressing any movement impairments that they have, fixing movement patterns, and also making sure they can get back to their daily activities safely and effectively.
Can you share an example, if you wouldn't mind, of a patient who had physical therapy at Advanced Pain Care and has helped, them regain mobility, reduce pain, something really helpful as part of their overall treatment plan?
Yeah, so we had a patient come in. He was an 80-year-old competitive pickleball player, high level.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he came in, he was barely able to walk into the eval. Through a customized program that was tailored to his needs, we actually got him back on the court playing competitively and pain-free. People sometimes are a little hesitant to do strength training with older individuals, but there's actually a lot of evidence that resistance training helps out.
Welcome back, everybody. In an effort to support Austin's fight against homelessness, 2 local powerhouses have joined forces for a special beer and an even more special upcoming event. We're saying hello to Brad Farbstein, president of Real Ale Brewing. So impressed to have him in the studio, as well as another person I'm very impressed by, Aaron Brown with Been There. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming back, Aaron, because we've talked about Been There before, but this is the first time we're talking about this sort of collab, which is really exciting. So, Aaron, if you wouldn't mind, let's talk about Been There as an organization and what it is y'all do.
Yeah, Been There is a result of 30 years of happy accidents that led my partner Lenny and I to start a nonprofit that puts a spotlight on one of the issues here in Austin and in our country that we really feel like needs to be addressed, homelessness. And we're deciding to kind of put a spotlight on other nonprofits and organizations that are addressing the issue in a very Austin, fun, cool way and help people get their lives back and improve the quality of life in our city.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about the Been There For in just a moment, but can I ask about the Trojan horse that I'm seeing on your chest? There's a little mythology in there.
A little mythology. Well, the Trojan horse is a very powerful representation of our strategy because we want doing good to feel fun. We don't want it to feel like a gut punch or a guilt trip to try and do charitable work. We want it to be involved, doing the things we love doing anyways, going to festivals, art, music, drinking beer. These things that we love doing anyway can also help people, and we think that that is a winning strategy for tackling big problems.
The biggest, most wonderful use of a Trojan horse iconography that I've ever heard of. That's lovely. Okay, let's talk about this collaboration that you've done with Real Ale Brewing and how it came to be. Brad, maybe would you touch on that?
Sure. Aaron and I have been friends for many years and talked about doing this for a long time. We created a pilot beer for their movie that they produced home free called Reelsner. And coming out of that and talking more about how we could help them promote Been There, we decided we'd collaborate and produce a new beer that would highlight the festival and also their organization, all the good work they're doing out there.
Well, as you're talking about it, let's do a little crack.
Might as well crack
But
one
it
open.
had to be a good beer. Like Brad and I really talked about what it was going to taste like too.
Cheers to you guys. Well,
cheers.
I'm interested to
Cheers,
hear
y'all.
about the tasting notes after I take a little sip. Ooh, so nice and light.
Yeah, it's a light
that's what I'm
international
talking
lager,
about.
easy drinking, approachable by a very large audience. We wanted something that everybody could enjoy and could know that buying the beer helps organizations funding. So $1 of every 6-pack is going to go back to Been There. And $30 for every keg sold will go back to the Been There organization directly.
Oh, that is really amazing. And of course, you're not new to making beer.
No.
And just like your
master.
friendship with Aaron is not new. When I realized that you guys were the makers of Fireman's Pour, I went back and shook your hand again and said, thank you for such a great beer. Tell me just a little bit more about your brewery, if you
Sure,
wouldn't mind.
we're excited. We'll be turning 30 years next year. So we started in
Congratulations.
1996 in the basement in Blanco, and we have a state-of-the-art facility in Blanco now on the north side. It's a 25-acre campus. We have a beautiful beer garden. We were lucky enough to harvest the original outdoor stage from Threadgills in Austin, and now we do all our live music out on the Threadgills stage. So we encourage people to come out and visit us. But yes, we've been making Fireman's, Axis IPA, Hans Pils, Devil's Backbone, and a number of really great beers, and we're super proud of Been There. Giving back to the community has been a focus of the brewery since day one. We've been heavily involved in the music industry, trying to help artists out, and it was just a natural opportunity when Aaron came to us with Been There, and we're super excited how it turned out. We have sold most of the beer out in the market already. I think the remaining beer is going to be in retailers and then out at the festival on Saturday as well.
Well, you gave me a beautiful transition, so thank you for that. There's a
Absolutely.
festival,
I'm working there,
everybody, on Saturday. Aaron, if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit more about Been There For.
Yeah, I mean, Been There For is the 4th annual Been There Fest. It's happening at Radio East. And we're really proud of this event because, like we were talking about the Trojan Horse, this is what we consider to be one of the better festivals anyone can experience. It's really comfortable, but the lineup is just, it's the cream of the crop. We got Ben Queller, we got Mixmaster Mike from the Beastie Boys, we've got...
What?
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes us back to, high school, and he's one of
Love
our
it.
heroes.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to be hanging with Mixmaster Mike, Deadeye, Panic Stricken, Grandmaster, Ruby Jane. It's like the cream of Austin's musical crop, mixed with a few, outside just special guests. And the fest it's really special because you come out and you have this amazing musical experience, but we're also putting a spotlight on some of the organizations that are really helping people get their lives back, like Caritas, Sunrise Navigation, the Other Ones Foundation, Art from the Streets. And when that happens, when we're doing good together and feeling good, it's magical.
Yeah.
And the art changes, the experience changes. So I think we're onto something. And, we just feel like Austin's going to be the first city to really solve the homelessness crisis in our own weird, fun Austin way. We have all the ingredients right here. Let's make history.
Oh, I think that's incredible. It's so from the heart. It kind of gives me goosebumps a little bit. Anything
Yeah.
you want to add to that, Brad?
No, it's just amazing to see the festival go on and all the money that's raised. I've been out there and seen over $1 million raised in a single day for Austin homelessness. And with that kind of money, you can do amazing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I invite people to really pay attention to what those organizations are doing tangibly. You can go visit the Esperanza community or even Community First and these types of places. And it's inspiring. There's some really good things happening right here in Austin that, it restores my faith in humanity. So I love it.
You guys have done that for me today. Thank you so much.
thanks,
Well,
Rosie.
and I had a great beer along the way.
There you go.
Thank
It
you so
never
much
hurts,
for your
yeah.
time. All right. For more details on this collaboration and to learn more about the organization, visit beenthere.org.
Forelock displays the unexpected adventures of fitness trainer turned superhero impersonator Caden and con artist Randy, played by Caleb Alexander Smith and David Krumholtz. The guys join me now to unpack this incredible film. Hi guys, how are you both?
Good, how are you?
Doing really well.
I'm good. Okay, this film is so interesting for so many reasons. So I want you to take a second to kind of walk me into the world of Forelock and set up the plot a little bit more for people that may not be as familiar with this film.
Yeah, well, I play a character named Caden who's coming from the Midwest to Los Angeles. He's a very humble and earnest fitness enthusiast, actually. And he's moving to Los Angeles not to become an actor, but to become a fitness trainer, which is kind of the first joke of the movie, someone going to LA not to be an actor. But he has this resemblance to a major franchise superhero and the actor who plays that superhero. And he ends up falling into the world of superhero impersonators, like gigging, doing kids' birthday parties and things like that. And this is where he meets a character called Randy, played by the great David Krumholtz, who's a Hollywood Boulevard impersonator and also a con man. And Randy sees in Caden a potential fall guy and a way out of certain schemes that he's gotten himself into. And Caden sees in Randy maybe a friend and a personal training client.
Yeah, like I said, there's just so many layers to the plot of this film and what's happening here and the duo between you two. But I want to go back in time a little bit because this film is like truly your brainchild through and through. You wrote this, directed this, you starred in it, of course. So kind of give me the origins of writing this and maybe what kind of inspired this film.
So I moved to Los Angeles to write and direct, and I also ended up acting some, which is always fun. But I kept getting this thing where people would say, "Hey, you look just like Superman."
Sure.
And some people would say, "Hey, you should go stand on Hollywood Boulevard," because there's a lot of cosplayers who busk and pose for tourists for tips, and that was always in the back of my mind, like, these people who stand on Hollywood Boulevard and pose with tourists. And there's a great documentary about it as well, and they're kind of like fixtures in LA, I would say, these characters. And after the pandemic and the double strikes in Los Angeles, I thought there was an opportunity for me to write something that was a little more personal than other projects I've been involved with. And part of my weird experience is this likeness thing to this character. And I wanted to make fun of that. I wanted to make light of it. And so I went on Hollywood Boulevard. Actually, I wore spandex and I researched this role. I posed with tourists and I did the whole thing. And I wanted to tell something that was kind of grounded and then also goofy. It's a very silly movie. It's a very fun movie. And it's just an honor to have been able to to start bringing it to the audiences.
Yeah, well, and I feel like we need more humor in today's world, so I appreciate that you're putting out a project like this. Now, as I mentioned, something I really love about this is kind of the unlikely duo and the pairing of you both within this film. I feel like that's something I'm personally always rooting for within TV and film. So why do you think that was maybe vital to the storyline to have this kind of unlikely duo, and how did you two go about building that dynamic of the characters?
Well, I think, you know, it's interesting. There's so many amazing buddy comedies, buddy dramas, buddy heist movies that inform this film, like Midnight Cowboy and The Sting, and yet Caleb had a keen eye on sort of not being, the film Forelock not being so derivative, being a sort of new bouncing off for the buddy comedy, you know, a new breeding ground for a new version of that. That doesn't have, you know, the sort of sweetness that, you know, the bonding sweetness, you know. These two men are wildly desperate men. You know, he's desperate to make meaning of his life and get over his mom's passing, and I'm desperate for money and to stay out of trouble. Although I know myself, my character knows himself well enough that he can only attract trouble. He's compulsively sneaky. My character is a grifter, you know, and he's a master manipulator as well. In that way, he's an actor. You know, Randy is a cajoler. He's a sort of a freak too. You know, he's a deviant, and you know, he preys on the innocence of this young man who is just trying to make a quick buck as a cosplayer and hopefully a personal trainer, and you know, and I think there is some comeuppance for Randy in realizing that, you know, Caden's character, Caleb's character, becomes a mirror to all the things that is wrong with Randy. You know, and he sort of it's very confrontational that he's met this wildly idealistic, very sweet, very innocent young man, and he lost his innocence long ago. And so they rub off on each other, and you know, it gets a little dicey between the two of them before they finally sort of come together and team up and do what they think is the right thing.
Caleb, with you, you know, we were talking about before, I think location is always really fascinating, in like which projects are set in, and you kind of talked about the origin a little bit, but why LA? Why was that piece of it so important to you?
Well, I think I was in this project really trying to write from experience, again, as absurd as the movie is, and it's all heightened and there's a lot of satire, but I really wanted it to be truthful to a certain extent. And I've been in LA for around 13 years. And so I wanted to write about things that I was seeing and things that I was experiencing. There's a lot in the movie that people might think, oh, that doesn't happen in LA. But no, it's in the movie because I've seen it. I've seen it in LA. It deals with, quite frankly, with some vagrancy and homelessness issues and things that are just realities more and more in LA. And I didn't want to shy away from that or try to be politically correct. I love LA and I wish the best for it. But there's also, you know, just things that all of us who are there, we know and we see, we kind of have seen a progression or a descent in some regards. So I kind of say the movie is somewhere, it's between a love letter and a breakup note.
Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Forelock, stay upside down on Instagram, as they said.
Welcome to Epic Discounts by BestReviews.com. I'm Melissa Bergamini.
And I'm Ashley Howard. Scan the QR code on your screen to get ready to save big.
Make your holiday cooking easier and more fun with the Ninja Mega Kitchen System. This 1,500-watt helper comes with a 72-ounce blender, an 8-cup food processor, and 2 16-ounce to-go cups. Perfect for smoothies, soups, and festive treats.
It crushes ice, blends creamy drinks, purees, soups, and even mixes dough. From holiday breakfast to family dinners, this sleek black system makes cooking simple and delicious.
Then keep your home cozy this holiday season with the Google Nest Learning Thermostat 4th generation, paired with the Nest temperature sensor 2nd generation.
This sleek silver thermostat learns your schedule and automatically adjusts the temperature, while the sensor keeps the rooms you use the most warm and comfortable. Save energy, stay cozy, and make your holidays stress-free with smart, effortless control.
Start your mornings and your holidays with the OXO Brew Conical Burr Coffee Grinder. This sleek silver grinder features stainless steel burrs for consistent, precise grinds every single time.
With One Touch Smart Grind, your coffee is always the way you like it. From cozy lattes to rich espressos, perfect for gifting or treating yourself. It makes every cup smooth, flavorful, and aromatic.
Now let's talk about your financial future. Gold is hitting record highs, and Money.com says more Americans are turning to gold IRAs to help protect their savings.
With inflation on the rise and markets feeling a little unpredictable, many people are looking for ways to diversify beyond stocks and bonds. Gold is real, physical, and has a history of holding value when times feel uncertain.
So when is the right time to invest? There's never a perfect moment, but moving even a portion of your retirement into a gold IRA can help you feel more secure about the future.
Getting started is super easy. Open an account, roll over some funds from your already existing retirement plan, and choose IRS-approved metals stored safely in a secure vault.
Visit money.com or scan the QR code right now to see their top-rated gold IRA providers.
All right, let's take one last look at today's products and services helping you save money.
Head to epicdiscounts.com or just scan that QR code to scan, shop, and save with Epic Discounts by Best Reviews.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products mentioned and where to buy them by going to our website, KXAN.com, and clicking on the Marketplace tab. Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by MedVet and Advanced Pain Care.